Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jahlia in this incarnation. Today, I am here to talk about the energies of this coming week that we are starting. So, obviously, the principal event we have is the lunar eclipse in Libra of tomorrow. But also, it is very important to know that this period between eclipses, after this event, we are in our way to the sun eclipse in Aries. That is going to be a strong one. I'm going to talk about it in briefly. But these 2 weeks represent a period where the energies of both eclipses are mixed. And there are a lot of manifestations, beginnings and endings, and also a synchronicity that these two eclipses have is that both regions, Venus is the regent of Libra and Mars is the regent of Aries. Both are in Pisces and both in both configurations are in conjunction with Saturn. So these processes are requiring us a development of great spiritual maturity. So, and regulation of emotions, that our emotions in eclipse season are very moved, very shaky. So, I wanted to comment that. And something that I'm going to repeat, there is a specific video about this, so I'm not going to extend myself on this. But today, I think in that video, I told another date. But I always correct myself. I have problems with the calendar. So today Venus is perfecting the sextile with Jupiter in Taurus. Venus is still in conjunction with Saturn, of course, because this is part of the eclipse. And we are going to feel this transit until the 2028, more or less. So it is a moment, I've been talking about this from the last week to take advantage of this aspect, because everything that we see it with commitment associated with big dreams and desires of the soul that we really want to see grow and expand, it is a very good moment. It is important to take decisions thinking in the long term and transcending the immediate satisfaction, and it is about putting healthy boundaries too, this transit. So to approach this with great responsibility and putting boundaries in what is not collaborating with those streams. So what is entering in orb right now, that I mentioned this in the video of the eclipse because it participates, is the sextile with Uranus. This is something that we are going to feel the whole week, and it's perfected on the day 20th. So this aspect is about innovations that we want to generate in the material reality. It's a harmonic aspect. So it is a great opportunity to make changes in a fluid way, beyond that we are in an eclipse season and many things are pushing us to move to certain directions. But these changes are very linked with these dreams, these desires of the soul that can extend to the area of relationships, resources, and our own value, all the things that are linked with Venus. And this could manifest sudden connections too. So we have to remember that we are in the shadow period of Mercury these days. So many of the things that we are approaching right now are going to be reevaluated later. But it is important to follow the inner guide, because we can start to do certain changes or moving certain things, and this sextile is still given with Mercury direct. So it is important to hear ourselves, not being conditioned by astrology. Okay. In the end of the week, we are going to start to feel these transits are more part of the next week, but I'm going to mention them anyways because this is going to be activated, beginning to be activated. So we have 2 transits that are important. The first one is Venus in conjunction with Neptune in Pisces, and the second one is Mars in conjunction with Saturn in Pisces. So I'm going to talk about in a more deep way later, in a deeper way, because as I said, this is part of the configuration of the eclipse. So this transit with Venus, this conjunction between Venus and Neptune, it is, if we put consciousness, and the practice of consciousness is for every day, not only for this transit, but if we approach it with consciousness, this could be, a transit that opens ourselves to unconditional love and to give and receive from our soul, and this spiritual contact of unity with other people could be a romantic even transit, of great inspiration, intuition, great connection. But if we are not approaching this with much consciousness, the shadow of this transit could also be linked with evasions or idealizations that then don't accomplish the expectations. I mean, bring disappointment. So this applies for all the topics linked with Venus, resources, value, and relationships. So it is important to take in account the shadows. I'm going to talk about this later, but I wanted to mention this. And Mars in conjunction with Saturn in Pisces, it is a transit that is going to invite us to work a lot in this spiritual maturity in a profound way. So in order to move forward, we are going to have to assume the commitment of the call of the soul. And many times with these transits could create blockages or obstacles. But if that happens, it is because they are showing us where we have to put a healthy boundary, where we have to direct the energy, or they are asking for us to take a big decision that requires a lot of responsibility. So, well, we are going to get on that later. These days that are coming are intense. So, as always, what collaborates with us is to put the focus on the here and now, on the present. It is a practice, as I always say, to transcend possible resistances, because in these times, life is redirecting us in the path of the soul, whether the ego like that or not. And this could activate certain resistances for the conditionings of the ego. So, well, I am going to end the video here. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.